Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. You have joined me in the depths of winter, hence the hat and the gloves. Might need to replace. I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible, but I want to update you all. I was kind of thinking, do I wait till the new year and start afresh? But there's things going on between now and then that I kind of want to try and film if I can. And I want to get back into like the swing of it before the new year, so we can hit the ground running in January, hopefully. But yeah, some things have been going on behind the scenes, hence why the last time I saw you it was May and now it's nearly Christmas. So yes, I'm going to try and keep it brief and just update you on each of the horses and what's going on. So you don't see much of him, but I don't want to miss him out. So this is Finn. He is a glorified pet these days. He actually got diagnosed with asthma this year, so that has been a total learning curve in itself. But he's doing good. He has put on some weight, so I'm currently on Finn Fat Camp watch. I mean, he's always in Fat Camp. He's a native and he's a good doer. But especially now, so I'm making a real effort to work him. He's doing like lunging and riding him a little bit. He's going up to the field when it's not super wet, just to walk up and down the hills. Hopefully going to hack him a little bit now that we've got his breathing under better control. But yeah, that is him. And then I'll talk to you about this one next. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably won't know who this is, but this is Fabergé. He is actually Finn's half brother, believe it or not. He is 6 and he hasn't really featured anywhere apart from on Instagram. You'll probably know him better if you follow me there. Until this year, really, because he's been a bit of a slow burner and he was the last through the door. We have had him since he was a yearling, so we've had him a long time. But yeah, he was last through the door. He requires the most consistency and time and effort, and while I was doing school and then college and then starting to get like a good balance with working and my other horses, he just kind of was just put on the back burner. But not this year. This year there has been time for him due to other ongoing things. So this year, as a 6-year-old, he's had his first 2 outings. I'll try and put clips over this talky bit so it's a bit more interesting. Had his first 2 outings. I'm just thinking about entering him for his very first show, just to go HC and walk and trot round. He's quite difficult. We had some really good lessons over the summer, but this is kind of his first winter properly in consistent work. But yeah, I've nearly fallen off him so many times this year. He's not had me yet, but he's been very close. He can go from 0 to 100 very quickly, and he can also go from 100 to 0 very quickly. He's just, he's a bit sharp when he wants to be. He knows every trick in the book. But yeah, it's been interesting and it's been a good learning experience for me again. He's kind of quite similar to Milo, so I feel like I can help him better than I was able to help Milo when I first did him. But the reason he's not also been featuring much is because we were a bit worried about his one hock. He basically got kicked years ago as a youngster, and it's swelled up, and he was lame on it at the time, and he also has a tendency to go hooning around the field and slip over, and you can always guarantee that's like where he'll go down on. So yeah, we were a bit worried about, well, he'd been going fine once he'd got over that as a youngster. He'd been going fine when we backed him, when he started working, but then as we upped his work this summer, I wasn't 100% happy. So the vet came and x-rayed, nothing to see on the x-rays, no evidence of like anything, which was good. So the vet's best guess was that one of the ligaments in his hock was probably damaged, and then it's obviously healed, and then every so often when he goes hooning around the field and slips over on it, it's like straining it a little bit. And then that's why, because he's never outright lame. Like when they came, they flexion tested him, everything, nothing to see at all anywhere, which is also good. So they said for the time being to carry on and bring him back into work, which we've done, and then to see what happens really. And if he stays sound, great, and if he goes lame, then that's not the end of the world, because we can then refer him to investigate it further. But at the moment it's like looking for like something that's potentially not actually there, unless he like inflames it again. So yeah, that is him. He is small but mighty. He's actually really cool, really fun to ride now that he's got to grips with the whole idea. So yeah, that is him for the time being. Not 100% sure what the future's going to hold for him and us, but we'll just have to see. I have resigned myself to the fact now that this is going to be filmed over a couple of days. So today I'm going to talk to you about Milo, who's right here, just about to do some in hand. So if you watched the last video, you would know that Milo did his first medium test, which was great, really pleased with him, and then literally straight after he was injured. So yeah, that wasn't so great. He's been rehabbing, he had the time off, he got rescanned, there was no evidence of the injury anymore. So for anyone that doesn't know, he just bruised a tendon, so not terrible, but obviously wouldn't want to continue working him like that. Milo has taken the opportunity for a roll, living his best life. Nice. I can't actually remember now if we did 4 or 5 weeks of walking, but we definitely did 5 weeks of trotting, and then I think we did 4 weeks of canter. And the vet said when he's cantering, start introducing like the circles and stuff, or not in canter, but once he started the canter section of his rehab, then you can start introducing circles and lateral work and just build it up gradually, which is what we have been doing. So yeah, he's been a very good boy on the whole. I'll try and put some clips in, but they're actually all from like when he started trotting. So yeah, they're not very recent. I'll have to try and get some more to put in so you can see him now. But yeah, that is him. He's hopefully, touch wood, healed, and yeah, seems to be doing okay. So we will continue ahead and look forward to 2025 hopefully, and doing all the things that we didn't get to do this year. So here he is, the littlest muffin, also known as Ruffles. So I didn't know how much detail to go into about him, because I feel like he is his own video. As a result of the heartache and stress he has caused, it has been a process. So I'm gonna give you a brief sort of rundown, and then I'll do another video at some point to tell you about him. About you. No? You don't want them to know that you've been causing more stress? So he has ulcers, or has had ulcers. We got him scoped at the end of July after he went to an area festival, and we just felt he got progressively worse the longer he was away, and that when he was at home in his routine, he was happy, he was going okay. We were managing him well. And then when he's away from home, the longer he's away from home, the more stressed he is, the more his routine's interrupted. He's not going out grazing as much. He was just getting worse the longer he was away. So scoped him, and he had grade 2 stroke 3 ulcers with a really nasty one at the entrance to his stomach, which was probably causing most of his discomfort. So treated those, and he didn't really get any better. Like, his symptoms for the ulcers got better, but his actual work I wasn't happy with. Basically, it got to the point where I felt like he couldn't canter, and I mean, he's been competing at medium for like 2 years, so he should really be able to canter without me having to like literally do it for him. So yeah, did that and wasn't happy, so got the vet back out to do like a lameness investigation, and their least invasive first approach was to, that's not a happy face, the least invasive first approach was to just give him like a walking holiday, because they didn't want him going crazy and injuring himself in the field from just having a load of time off. So did the walking holiday, brought him back into work, made some small adjustments to his trimming on his hind feet, made some small adjustments, and got back on, and he was better after that. He kind of had 2 yeah, like 2 months, I think. Definitely 2 or maybe 3 shoeing cycles as well, of doing that. And he was definitely better, and he actually got progressively slightly better as I brought him into work, but he still just wasn't like a big enough improvement. I would also just like to add at this stage that he was never lame. When the vet came out and looked at him, we flexioned him, trotted him on the hard, trotted him on the soft. He wasn't lame. We x-rayed him. There's like tiny things that you'd kind of expect to see on the x-rays of like he's 10 next year. So yeah, like very small things, but nothing that made you think, oh wow, that should be causing this severe drop in performance. But also we know he's super sensitive, so it very much could be. So then we went back to the vets after the holiday that he had, did more treatment, or went with a different course of treatment this time rather than the holiday, and unfortunately he reacted to it, and the pony that was not lame, oh sorry, I've changed how I'm shaking, pony that wasn't lame was then hopping lame. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say just now about him. Just know that he's okay and he's rehabbing. Gosh, fingers. You will have to have been around for a little while to remember Archie, who is kind of the OG around here. If you watch my older videos, it will be with him mainly. I haven't really done a massive amount of stuff or videos with like Milo, literally like nearly nothing with Ruff, and certainly not with the ponies. But yeah, so he's still here. If you don't know him, he competed in dressage with me up to elementary, had loads of top 10 placings at like the under 25s and the chaps associated championships, and yeah, I was a really good boy. Went to the pet plan championships on our first time trying in the music, and he was awesome, but unfortunately he has arthritis in his knees, and he just wasn't really 100% sound all the time. He'd have bad days and good days, and it just wasn't worth trying to still compete him. So now he's semi-retired. He's actually doing really well. He's just had a course of Cartrophen, which is the first ever time. He was previously injected with Arfamid in the knee, and that really helped. He's not really any lamer on it now than he was like 3 years ago when he had that. So yeah, we're really happy with him. He's just hacking, he goes in school a little bit, he goes around the fields, just living his best life really. He obviously has, if you know him, the allergies as well. He has like over 20 allergies. He's allergic to life. So he's currently actually going through one of those phases. He's rubbed himself and stuff. But on the whole, okay, doing great. And yeah, he's 15 now, which is crazy. We've had him 15 years in, I think next week we've had him 15 years, which is wild. That's a long time of my life because I'm 21. So yeah, but he's happy, and that's the main thing. We have pretty much come full circle, and I'm about to get on Fabergé again. But yeah, that's kind of a short sort of update, so you know where we're at with all of the horses, even the ones that maybe don't feature quite so heavily on here. So yeah, that's them. If anyone's remotely interested in what I've been up to while I've not been doing a massive amount of riding or competing, I turned 21 this year, so that was exciting. Got a new car, which is amazing, and I love it so much. Went to see Take That, which was unbelievable. And we saw them in a stadium, so there was the fireworks, and it was just such a good night. Also went to see the Jonas Brothers, which was also unbelievable. Had the best time doing that. Saw Hamilton on at the Birmingham Hippodrome, so again, unbelievable. Just really had like a great time doing things that I maybe wouldn't necessarily have done, or wouldn't have had the time to do if I was competing more and stuff. So yeah, it has been quite a nice year, and I just feel really kind of happy, even though we've had a bit of a disappointing one. I just feel really happy and comfortable with where we're at, and I am looking forward to 2025. A bit apprehensive after the past couple of years, but hopefully it will be a good one, and I will see you all again very soon.